This is Tom Duty, middle-aged American, living in New Jersey near the Lincoln Tunnel. If you were to visit my website, you would type Howdy Doody into Google. You find the correct spelling of the famous puppet. You then combine Tom Duty and in Google search for my site, Teen Vogue. When you find out the word bisexual is about you. It wasn't a question for me, it was an answer. Heather Corinna, September 23rd, 2016. Written by Heather Corinna, author of S.E.X. All-You-Need-To-Know Sexual Guide to Get Through Your Teens and Twenties. Co-founder and director of Sexuality and Relationships Information Education Organization, Scarleteen. In my journal when I was 15, where my entries were typically overflowing with a lot of words and a lot of trauma, pain, and struggle, there was usually a brief zero agony entry. So I'm bisexual, huh? That's it. That's all it says about discovering a word. Often leaves a lot of people feeling anything but chill. That entry wasn't about me first having the feelings that word's about. I'd been having those feelings since I was 10. And when I started having crushes on girls and crushes on boys, by the time I wrote that entry 5 years later, I'd actively explored those feelings with everything from masturbation to hand-holding to oral sex with others. More than one gender. I think that means two. Sorry, readers, that's an editorial reader's note. I'll go back to the real text. By the time I wrote that entry, 5 years later, I'd have actively explored those feelings with everything from masturbation to hand-holding to oral sex with more than one gender. That entry was about finding a word for that part of my sexuality and self, and knowing with certainty that word was about me. A pretty big deal, and yet my response seems especially odd to me now, because over the many years people have come to Scarleteen having discovered that word, knowing or even just thinking it might be about them. And it often looks more like this. Oh my God, I was just reading something here and it sounds like I am bisexual. I hope I'm not bisexual. Do I have to call myself bisexual now? Oh God, what if I am? What will my boyfriend, best friend, future wife think? How will I live a normal life? And if I'm someone who always wants to have sex with everyone, help! Setting some common myths aside for now, what had me so cool about with this when it has so many other people so freaked out? Looking at this in the rear view for decades away, and with my sex educator goggles on, I can identify many factors if you're having this moment of realizing you're bisexual and you're freaking out about it instead of being as relaxed as I was. Here are some helpful tips. It wasn't a question for me, it was an answer. Bisexuality. The word was only something I had concerned about, and any attachment to when it strongly felt like It was about me. It wasn't something I was trying to fit myself into or not, or agonize over if I was or wasn't. I wasn't trying to evaluate if I had or hadn't attractions the word describes. I already knew I had. If it feels like the right fit for you, as it did for me, that's probably because it is. It's a good day to be you. If it doesn't feel right, then it's probably because it isn't. That's okay too. Maybe you're not bisexual, or perhaps this word just isn't one that describes your unique sexuality or queerness as you know it well. The timing of all this may be just all wrong for you right now when it comes to even naming this part of yourself at all. You simply may need more time just to experience your attractions and your feels, explore them as you want to, and get to know yourself better. Gathering more information that tells you, without a big struggle, that the word is or isn't about you. If it doesn't feel like a good fit off the bat, don't stress about whether it doesn't or does, will or won't. You're not to be Cinderella for this particular shoe right now, that's all. There'll be other shoes, and one or more will fit someday. You can wait for the word that does fit, or a time when you know more about yourself in this department to be able to find it. Or heck, just make your own shoe. There's sure an awful lot of words out there for the taking and the making. It was and felt like a good start of something good, maybe even like an adventure, and it was. Think of it as a word as you are here on a very big map. First of all, there is, and there you are on the map. You can see that your real place. Finding that word gave me validation, and certainly in my bisexuality's bona fide existence, as a word gives anything it names, seeing that place on the map as if it were can also help you, even if it is what's around, and give you a place to start exploring from. Where you go from here is up to you, but this can give you a place to start. Now you can find out, or better see, who else is bisexual besides you, including people you think are awesome, which makes it easier to accept yourself and think you're awesome too. We're in some very good company. Having a label that can give you some confidence and self-acceptance and makes exploring this part of who you are, alone or with others, a lot more enjoyable, less stressful. It can lead you to community. Having the word bisexual to work with makes it easier to look up resources, options, and connect with others like you and people who will be supportive of you. I never consider myself to have any obligation because of it. I didn't have the idea that knowing this word and claiming it was mine obligated me to share it with anyone, to use it in any specific way, to do anything or be anything because of it, or to marry it, pledge to be with it till death do us part. That is as